Well, welcome, Chris, and welcome to Partner Carpool Karaoke. You're actually my second guest ever in the car. Today we're in Houston, Texas, and I actually rented this really cool Fiat 124 Spider, so hopefully it's a little roomy for you there.
Lots of room.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited that you're here today. Thank you for coming on the show, and I'm looking forward to getting to know Computacenter a little bit better. So as we get started and start to roll, hello. So I'm really excited to have you in the car today, but as we go ahead and get started, first of all, it is Partner Carpool Karaoke. What song do you want to hear?
Come on, you know the song.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Guaranteed.
Okay, let's play it. I was
Riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. He's got a one-hand pill on the steering wheel, the other on my heart. Our song is a slam screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window when we're on the phone and you talk real slow. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again.
That was awesome. That was a good way to kick it off.
Good
and
song.
How did I know that you just loved a little bit of OG classic T Swift?
Because my family listens to it all the time.
All the time. Well, she is pretty good. But the classic T Swift, I'm gonna have to say that. But no, tell me, okay, as we're getting started, tell me just like the quick background on Computacenter. Who are you guys? What are you all about for those people who are not familiar?
Sure. So Computacenter is actually the largest global VAR that's headquartered outside of the U.S.
Wow.
It's actually headquartered in London.
Okay.
And started in London, obviously, expanded through Europe, and has now formed through acquisitions and investments a fairly significant presence in the U.S. So,
I like it.
yeah, I mean, you know, large scale across Europe and North America now, expanding into Asia. So, really
So
cool company to be part
global
of.
presence. You're basically helping customers all over the world, it sounds like.
We are.
Is there any particular, I guess, industry that you guys specialize in, or vertical, or what's been the most recent that you've really been helping customers out? Any cool use cases out there?
You know, there's a lot of use cases. I mean, I wouldn't say that Computacenter is we don't specialize in any particular vertical.
Okay.
We do have teams that go after different verticals, but as an organization, we're such a large organization that we kind of cover a lot of different verticals.
Okay.
What's been interesting actually over the last few years is to watch as people have sort of moved more into the cloud, and to see what's happened to the way that they've had to handle their finances. That's been really an interesting thing to watch.
Okay. I mean, I think the financial aspect is really interesting right now, especially with the current economy and everything out there. So you're helping customers really, I guess, control their finances and take a look at them. And I think that's interesting because you guys have a service that incorporates CloudCheckr as well, which is a company that we acquired not too long ago. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you're right. You know, the global economy right now is not in the best place, right?
Not exactly, that's okay.
It's been interesting to watch, and so the ability to help customers with their finances, specifically around the things that they're doing, has become much more prevalent. We developed a service a couple of years ago, leveraging CloudCheckr, that we use to go into our customers and help them with multi-cloud financial savings. You know, as you know, a lot of customers are in multiple clouds at the same time, and that becomes extremely difficult to manage when you start looking at the cost aspects and everything along those lines.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so CloudCheckr really lets us kind of wrap our hands around that and help our customers to get a single pane of glass view across multiple clouds. So it's been really an interesting one, and we've actually had a couple of really interesting opportunities come up lately. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we
Is there
had
one that you can talk about?
there is. It's this is a customer we've worked with for quite a long time, and over the last few years, they've migrated very heavily into AWS.
Oh.
And as they did, it is there, and they've got a very large presence in AWS. And as they grew, they sort of lost control of the spend. They had so many different teams that are doing so many different things that they didn't have a single, what we would call a FinOps team or financial operations team that was managing it. So what we've done with them is it's leveraged our offering that, as you said, leverages CloudCheckr to help them really start wrapping some controls around that, start really analyzing things, putting some analytics to it, and helping them to optimize those costs. And we recently won a really solid engagement with them around that operation.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm sure they're not the only customer where the costs in the public cloud have kind of spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
And I think, you guys, that's interesting because you guys are also our preferred Spot partner here at NetApp. And that's also what Spot does is, cloud optimization and automation for the public clouds. And we've been actually selling Spot with you guys for a while now, and you're one of our top partners. Can you elaborate on Spot at all? Because it's also part of our broader portfolio with CloudCheckr.
Yeah, and what CloudCheckr really did was round out that portfolio, right? I mean, you had a number of different products that allowed you to do different things. You had Spot Ocean, Spot Eco, etc. But you were missing the broad piece of simple cost optimization that went really across the board, and that's really what CloudCheckr brought to you. We've done a number of different deals with you guys around things like customers that are leveraging Spot instances within AWS and helping them to, really optimize that using the Spot portfolio. And like I said, the addition of CloudCheckr just really kind of rounds that out and gives you a fully balanced FinOps portfolio.
Sure. Well, I like that, and you guys are also a top Spot partner, so I think that that's, a really unique viewpoint. Is there any other key highlights that you want somebody to remember about you guys from Computacenter? Obviously, you're helping with those spiraling out of control public cloud costs, which is always very necessary and I think needed as well during, like we said, talked about these financial times. But anything else that you want to highlight about you guys before we wrap up?
Well, I mean, we cover the board, right? I mean, we do a lot of work in the workplace, end user services, managed services, networking, various different types of end-to-end sort of operations. And I guess really the big thing that I would want to leave as a takeaway really highlights our methodology. When we work with our customers, we want to make sure that we really understand their business and that we have a good feel for where they are today, what level of maturity they sort of have in their operations, and where they're trying to get to. And so that's really what we do, is we have an end-to-end approach that allows us to look at where you are, where you're trying to get, and really help you to buy what's appropriate, right? We call it Just Enough Cloud, where we sell them what they need, but we're not trying to sell just everything that's on the truck. It's really about serving the business and helping them to move their operations forward.
It sounds like you're really just looking out for their best interests.
That's what we try to do. We have long relationships with our customers, and they're very valuable. So.
Well, I like that. Well, thank you for kind of talking a little bit about that. Before we wrap up, I'm just curious, how did you yourself kind of get into the IT industry? Like, is there a story there?
So, my mother would say that I got into IT because she bought me the coolest looking computer, and I took it apart and found out that computers are kind of like Legos. Yeah. Which is kind of true. It got me interested. But then when I got out of school, I went into IT administration, moved back to Houston and ran IT teams internally for some of the large energy companies in Houston for a number of years before I moved to the partner side. And, I've been with Computacenter and the previous companies that were acquired going back through Pivot and Sigma Solutions for 12 or 13 years. It's been a great run. I'm still having a great time. So looking forward to what comes next.
Just a few short years, right? I'm sure you've seen the industry change and kind of go through a couple different waves as well. So, wow, I appreciate you sharing your knowledge and the background of Computacenter. And I think we're going to go check out a barbecue spot right now too, right?
Yeah, man, you can't come to Houston and not have barbecue.
I know. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me in the Partner Carpool, and let's go eat.
All right. Bye, guys.